Welcome back to my channel, the place where if you want to be a business owner, you have to think twice because it's not like the world is telling you. To be a business owner is extremely hard because you're not being a business owner according to the world in this channel. You're becoming a business owner according to God. And God, He doesn't play. When He gives you access to the possibility to have a business and make money, there's so many things that goes into it that people don't talk about. They're too busy just showing you the lifestyle. They're too busy showing you the destination. But that's a big problem. Why? Because you only focus on that. And when you reach the point where it comes to actually growing to becoming a business owner, you think it's too hard, so you give up. So we're not doing that here. I will give you everything that you need to know to becoming a business owner, starting with the skills of a business owner. And I'm not talking about sales and stuff like that. No, I'm talking about your internal skills. The hard skills such as sales and things like that, I will talk about in another video. So comment down below if you need it, if you feel like you absolutely need to know the skills that you have to have in order to be a business owner. But for this one, we're going to talk about the soft skills, who you need to be inside, the character that the Lord will most likely grow inside of your spirit, inside of your body, so that you can handle the business that He's calling you to have. Let's get into it. So first, for the people who don't know me, my name is Beth Andrea Onana. I'm a spiritual life coach, and I am the owner of the business called Driven to God, a consulting spiritual business where you can go if you need help when it comes to your spiritual journey with the Lord or any problems that you truly have in life. For me to get that business, it wasn't easy. And I spoke about my journey on my first video. So if you haven't watched that and you need to understand the journey of a business owner, how to relate to that journey, or how the Lord most likely will make you go through that journey if you're new to this, then you can watch that. I'll put it somewhere in the description or in the comment section. But for this one, it wasn't easy for me to be a business owner. There is a journey that I had to go through, like skills that I had to gain that at the time I didn't even realize I needed to gain. And I'm going to start with actually number one, be a student. So when I was doing sales, right, my boss was very young. I think she was 20. But when you looked at her, you could not believe that she was 20. She looked much older. She had those phases occasionally where she would laugh with us because we're all the same age. But then when it came to business mode, she just had this face to her, this seriousness to her, this I'm the business owner to her. And when I saw that, I remember thinking, man, that is so cool. I would love to have my own business, because she's 20 and she was making, I believe, $6,000 every week. And in my head, I'm like, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Like, she's 20, she's doing that. And I'm here, I'm 24 at the time. I need to be able to make this much money. And that's when my mind started spiraling. It was spiraling. It's like, I need to do this. I need to do that. I want to do this. I want to do that. But I had to stop. Because being a business owner, it's not about looking cool. It's not about looking like you own so much and you can just command people to do things and tell people to do that. Because I did door-to-door sales with her where I was selling internet. And so she would be in the office while everybody had to go on the field to do door-to-door. And I thought that was the coolest thing, but it wasn't about that. It was about learning that in order to get to that stage, I need to become a student. So when the Lord wants you to be a business owner, there will be things that will want to rush you. You will see people on social media. You will see people next to you if you even have the chance to be surrounded by people who make a lot of money. And you will have this urge to want to get to your destination faster. You look at the destination, you look at everything happening around you. You want the money, you want the lifestyle, all of that. But it blocks you from understanding that in order to get there, you need to grow to get there. For example, my boss at the time, in order to be a business owner, she had to go through the hierarchy. So first you start as a door-to-door salesperson, right? Or you do events. Events is when you just go in a supermarket and you start selling to people instead of knocking on their doors. And then after that, you become a leader. And you grow your team. And after growing your team and see, like, first of all, you have to search for your team because they're not just always going to hand it to you. Sometimes you have to go out of your way to search for a team, to bring people into the company. And that is extremely hard because not everybody wants to do door to door. But anyways, let's say you have found your team. Now you can teach them. And now you have to manage to make that team stay. Again, door to door is not easy. It is not the most attractive job in the whole entire world. So For people to want to stay with you as a leader, to forget the fact that they have to walk sometimes under the sun, sometimes under the cold, sometimes even if they make no sales, it's extremely difficult. That is a mindset of not just a business owner, but first and foremost a leader, which you need to become in order to be a business owner. After you've done that, now you have to be able to make sure that your team makes a lot of money, right? And when your team makes a lot of money, then the boss, the actual boss under who you are working for, will give you your own team to go and start your own office, which is the point where I met her, where she had her own office. But now you can understand like the whole journey. It's like this. And it's not even like that specifically. It's like sometimes you have to get discouraged. You want to go down because you don't think you can do it. And that's exactly what I went through. I wanted to be like her. I wanted to have my own things. I wanted to do everything in my power to look cool and have my own office and stuff like that. But as I was going through the journey, it was so hard. I remember there were days I wanted to give up. I was doing it with my partner and we were just looking at one another like, this is not for us. This is absolutely not for us. We did it for 8 months plus and we wanted to give up so many times. By the grace of the Lord, we did not give up earlier like we wanted to do, because we thought, no, there must be a reason why the Lord guided us to this path. But it wasn't easy. And that's when I learned my first lesson. The glamorous lifestyle, the glamorous end destination, it distracts you. It makes you want to even rush the process. For example, I was rushing to build my team because I wanted the lifestyle instead of learning first the skills that I need to get for myself so that I can teach it to my team. So in your case, if you're starting a business right now, or you already started a business that the Lord called you to have, ask yourself this: are you rushing because you saw the end destination? Or are you being a student because you know that by being a student, you will grow all the steps that you need to grow into before the Lord gives you your end destination, before the Lord gives you everything that you need to know in order to succeed? Because if you don't do that, my friend, you will have a business, if that's the Lord's will, but it can crash on you. Or you won't have a business at all. And you don't want that to happen. Because at the end of the day, during that time, even if I'm not in that industry anymore, I had to tell myself, okay, let me take my time. And when I took my time, I actually learned things a lot faster. And I was making more money and I wasn't stressing anymore. Why? Because I became a student. So be a student. Because without being a student, you can't be the one who owns everything. Next point. The second thing, have endurance. When you're going to be a business owner, there's a level of endurance that you need to have. I'm not joking. People on social media don't tell you this. And to be honest, there's nothing wrong with that. Let me just put it out there. There is nothing wrong with you having a business, for example, and you want to show people that you made it and this is where you used to be. I just wish I saw somewhere on social media that, oh, it's actually this hard, or oh, it's actually supposed to be like this. No, instead they show you 3 years of hard work in a fast pace, right? Just you working in front of a computer, and then boom, you have all the money in the world. So it makes you feel like, oh, I just need to like work in front of a computer. I just need to spend 3 years and then I'll be good. No, it's not that. During those 3 years, during that time frame where people are struggling before they hit the jackpot, before the Lord bless them, my friend, let me tell you this. It is hard. It is so hard. Me, for example, I had to learn how to communicate. I had to go through a journey of being rejected so many times that a couple of times I even cried about it, because nobody likes being rejected. I had to go through a journey of learning how to be respected in a business, because when you're a beautiful woman and you're going to work in a place dominated where men are usually dominating the industry, sometimes they will look at you and they will not take you seriously, either because you're a woman and they're attracted to you, or stuff like that. So I had to learn how to be respected. I had to learn how to be organized, to plan, time management. I had to learn how to like manage my There's so many things. And it sounds like I'm just listing skills, but if you already have a business, you will understand this. Like, you will understand what I'm saying. If you don't have it yet and you're going through it, you will also understand it. These skills that you're gathering, it takes a lot of failure. Time management. The way that you learn how to manage your time is by realizing how bad you are with your time, being humble about the fact that you are bad with time management when people point it out to you, and actually learning how to do it and failing because you're still not perfect at it, but you still keep going until you learn how to finally do it. Getting rejected by people, right? When you go and talk to someone, you have to learn how to toughen up your heart so that you don't take it personally. Understand that people have different character, different personalities, and some people will just tell you no because they're not interested and it has nothing to do with you, right? Communication, you have to learn how to listen, to understand someone, to understand their emotion, to perceive what they're looking for. And that sometimes it takes you like butting heads with people because they feel misunderstood or you feel misunderstood. But again, you have to not take it personally. And it takes multiple trial and error. And that thing can break you. As a matter of fact, it will break you. It will break you because whoever you are right now, you're not going to be that person at the end. The Lord is changing you. He is growing you. He is making sure that you can withstand what He's about to give you. That you can withstand not just the blessing, but the responsibility of handling that blessing because it's going to help so many people. So you need to have endurance. You need to never give up. You need to keep going. You need to fall and get back up. You need to cry and wipe your tears. You need to feel like things are against you, but try not to take it personally and eventually not let it affect you completely. You need to have endurance, and that can take weeks, even months, maybe years, so long as you actually succeed at mastering those skills, because it's only then that it's going to get easier, right? So, endurance. Let's go to the next point. Solving problems. When you are a person who has never had a business before, or you are starting to have a business, there is a lot of problems that you need to understand that you have to solve. I remember when I was living with one of my family members, and like I told you in the other video, right? If you've watched it, if you've not watched it, again, it's in the description or the comment section. But when I used to live at my other family member's house, I used to be a people pleaser. Everything that people wanted to tell me to do, I was always the first person to do it. I used to pride myself in doing what people wanted me to do the right way, because I'm like, oh, I'm definitely of service and I'm helping people. I'm a good person. I am just so good at helping people, at doing what I need to do when people ask me to do things, right? But what I didn't realize is that character was every single day eating away my capacity to think on my own and as a result solve problems, right? And so it hit me when the Lord called me to be a business owner that I will be solving plenty of problems. I'll be solving my personal problems. I'll be solving problems around me, such as my loved ones, my friends, my acquaintances, and more importantly, I'll be solving problems from my business. It's tough. When you are a business owner, there are so many problems that you have to solve. For example, let's say you don't have money to market your business, because at one point every business needs sales or marketing. Where are you going to get the money? How are you going to do it? Do you know where you're going to do it? Do you know how you're going to do it? Do you know how you're going to do it continuously? Let's say you have debt. How are you going to understand how you're going to prioritize either your debt or your business? How are you going to do that? Let's say you don't have debt. Let's say you have money to do marketing. How are you going to understand how to solve problems in your business to make it grow? Because you may have the budget for marketing, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you know how to market anything. How are you going to solve that problem? Let's say your business is on social media. How are you going to go through the process of marketing the right way so that people come to you? Can you understand people's problems? Can you perceive it before they say anything? Or if they say something, can you understand it right away? Can you understand your own problems? Problem solving is something internal. It's a skill that you need to have, yes, when it comes to like technicality and stuff like that, but it's something that needs to be in your core. Because if you don't know how to solve a problem, might as well not have a business. Because the Lord, He knows the world that we live in. And He knows that people need solutions. And when He sees you and He puts you in front of people, it's because He has instructed you to give those people a solution, whether you know what the solution is or not. And that solution is all about the business that you will have. For example, my partner, He's very good with IT. So his solution is all about helping companies when it comes to their IT system. Me, consulting. If you're struggling with relationship, you're struggling with career, you're struggling with everything in your life is just not working out, and you don't understand why, the Lord is placing me in front of you to tell you, do this, do that. Why haven't you done this? Will you be able to do this? Because it will help you. So ask yourself this. Which problems in your life are you solving? Which problems in your life are you not solving? Which problems in your life, more importantly, do you think the Lord is calling you to solve? And have you started training your brain to actually solve those problems? Do you have personal experience? Because a lot of the consulting experience that I have comes from my own experience and the way that the Lord trained me to handle situations in life. And other stuff was based on the jobs that I had or the side hustles that I had and stuff like that. So are you able to solve problems? Are you able to receive a solution and communicate that solution to someone who is definitely struggling with a problem? Are you able to even solve your own personal problems? Because if you can't solve your own personal problems, then you won't have the perfect or close to perfect training to solve other people's problems, because nobody wants to work with a business owner whose life is messy. If your life is messy, your space is not organized. Your mindset is not organized. There are things, especially because the Lord is transforming you. And when the Lord transforms you, He's fixing your character, your inner character, your ability to do things in your own life or in other people's lives after that, so that you can help people. So, solve problems. Solving problems will help you get to where you need to go very quickly as a business owner, because without that, you're not going to be able to be a business owner. Well, at least not in the long run, which honestly, that's the goal that we're looking for, right? Next point. The fourth one is all about training or mentoring. When I was doing sales, I remember there was a time where I was a bit on my high horse when it came to training or mentoring people, because I thought, I'm finally at that boss position, kind of halfway there, right? I'm halfway at the boss position. But I realized very quickly that that doesn't really help, because when you try to help people by mentoring them, by feeling like you're above them, you are rushing them. You are making them hurry up to do the things that you need to do. You're not taking your time to really help them. You're not really being there at the journey. You're just delegating. You're just telling them what to do, and they don't know what to do. They really don't know what to do. And it makes you feel like you're on top of the world, but really you're not. You're at the bottom of the world, because you're supposed to grow people. You're supposed to help people, but you're not doing that. So you're not growing, because the people that you're supposed to train and you're not doing a good job at training, they're not growing. You're not elevating your skill. However, when you humble yourself and you accept that this person here, he's not here to be a trophy representation of like the level you've gotten to, but they're here because they need to rely on you. As a matter of fact, it's your first test from the Lord. The moment you start training, that's your first test from the Lord. The test of how humble are you going to be enough to focus on them growing and not you growing? How humble are you going to be enough to understand that they need your guidance to be someone who can grow in skills? How consistent are you going to be at it? How much strength mentally are you going to have when that person does not understand the things that you are doing, either because you still need to learn how to train people or because they just don't get it and they need more patience, they need more time to understand things? How kind are you going to be towards them when they don't get it? How encouraging are you going to be towards them when they don't get it? For example, I remember when I was doing door-to-door sales, there's this young woman, right? She cannot stand the heat. She cannot. I remember she was red, she was sweating, she was over it. She just could not do it. And she didn't want to finish the whole day. Now, I knew she wasn't going to make it back. But I just thought the feeling of giving up halfway versus giving up after you've tried is different. So she said she can't do it. She absolutely cannot do it. And I told her, at the end of the day, you get to decide. Do you want to at least finish the whole day, knowing that you tried completely? Or do you want to stop right here and know that you gave up halfway. And you didn't even have the strength to do completely something that you decided you wanted to do at one point. And then even though she was tired, even though she was like, it's hot out here, even though she was red, she got up the strength in her to say, you know what, I'm gonna finish the whole day. Now, even though she didn't stay with the job, there is a thing in her mind, in anybody's mind, that happens when you don't want to give up. And that's something that I was able to instill in her, because there were days where I wanted to give up, but I had to tell myself the same thing. I had to train myself to do the same thing, to not give up, to keep going, to keep climbing the stairs, because we were doing apartments. When I tell you the number of stairs that I had to climb, the amount of weight that I lost, trust me, after getting rejected too, sometimes I would work the whole day. No. And I had to watch people being rejected. I had to watch people receiving no's and wondering if this is worth it. And I had to stay up here so that they too can be up here. So you need to learn how to train people. And that's a character that is inside of you, because it starts when you train yourself to not give up, when you train yourself to grow the skills that you need to grow, to learn everything that you need to learn in order to be better, so that other people see how good you are. They come, they rush to you and are like, please train me. Please, I need help. Because me, I trained them and they were good. They were good at one point. Whether they wanted to stay or not was up to their purpose. It was up to whether they wanted to do it or not. But I did my job when I trained them. And even for my business, when I hire people in the future, because right now I don't need to hire anybody, I'm good. But even for my business, when I hire people in the future, I would have gotten the skills that I needed to get to train them, to help them, to humble myself, even though I'm the business owner, to humble myself and tell them, this is how I need you to do it. This is how it can be done in order for you to actually make things work. And if you have your own skill that you want to add to it, great. Let's see how it works. Because at the end of the day, what matters is you growing your skill, you doing your job really well. And I'm here to help, right? All right. Training is very important. Never forget that. The last thing, becoming independent. When you're a business owner, okay, first, let me tell you something. So there is a moment where I was doing sales and me and my partner, we sat down. We were making good money from it consistently. And I remember we were eating Chinese food and we were telling one another, like, man, it's becoming really easy. It's becoming really easy to be a business owner. Like, I'm not a business owner. I was working on my business at the time. I was growing it, but I was more focusing on sales. And I was saying, it's becoming so easy. And he was like, yeah, it's becoming so easy to make this work. Like, we don't need a full-time job. Because my partner and I, we don't really like the idea of a 9-to-5. We really don't. We absolutely do not like it. Like the sitting in a office and having people tell us when to have lunch and stuff like that. Like, I'm sure you can relate to it if you want to be a business owner. Like, we just didn't like it. And I remember that day is the day that we decided we were not going to apply for a 9-to-5 anymore. That he was going to make his IT business work and I was going to make my consulting business work. And at the same time, we were going to do sales. Now, we were happy. We were rejoicing. We were making money. We were consistent. We thought it was easy, right? But of course, the Lord will test you. He will test you. He will test you because he wants to make sure that, number one, you understand the journey you're going through. And number two, you want to stick to that journey that you are going through. And I'm saying that because right after that, and I mean right after that, sales suddenly became the most difficult job in the whole entire world. Even though we were making money from it consistently, we were struggling to make a sale. It's not even an understatement. We were struggling. And that's when I told myself, should I just apply for a 9-to-5? And in that moment, that's when I realized that choosing to do things in life is not about, like, not just doing things in life, like being independent. It's not about just deciding when things are easy. No, it's deciding when things are hard. It was easy for me and my men to be like, yeah, let's just not do a 9-to-5 because we're making good money. We're happy, right? But after every good season, sometimes comes a hard season. And in those hard seasons, will you still stick to that? The Lord was testing me. He was testing my partner. He was testing us to know if we really wanted to continue this journey of completely relying on ourselves for the first time. Because we've had jobs before. We've had part-time jobs, we've had full-time jobs. Like, we had that. And we had that comfortability of a paycheck, kind of, because I don't really believe that somebody hiring me is comfortable, because I don't know when they're going to like tell me bye-bye. I don't know, especially with AI these days, right? But at the time, the Lord was like, okay, you decided that you wanted to be independent. Are you going to be independent even when things don't work out? Because let me tell you, there are seasons that are going to be hard. You want to be a business owner, you have to understand that there are seasons that will be hard. There are seasons that will be extremely difficult. I remember my partner saw something on social media, and it was like a video saying like 1 week we're eating at home because the paycheck did not come, and the next week we're going out and we're eating out without looking at the price tag, right? That's the life of a business owner. It's not to say you will struggle. There's a point in time in your career where you have more money than enough to not worry about things. But at the same time, your responsibilities will also grow. The things you have to pay will also grow. For example, let's say your business requires you to have a business office or to hire people, right? There will be days where something is wrong in your business. Something is not going according to plan, and you need to prioritize paying other people before you pay yourself, which means there's a chance you won't have anything for yourself so long as other people are paid for. Can you handle that? Because that's not the type of thing that you see on social media, and I'm here to tell you exactly how it is. Because I had my bills to pay, and I was relying on the money that I was making from sales to also grow my business at the time. Because without money, I can't do marketing. Without marketing, I can't grow my business, right? And suddenly, the money that I had that came so easily was gone. And I had to ask myself, should I go back to what's comfortable, or should I be independent? Focus on being independent. Ask yourself that question. If you cannot handle being independent, then this is not for you. Because being independent sometimes is uncomfortable. A lot of the times, majority of the times actually, it's uncomfortable. Because you have to trust yourself enough to know that even if you have nothing, you will find a way to have something. And that's the type of character that the Lord is growing in you as you choose to be independent. Because it's easy to rely on someone. When you have a 9-to-5, you can just receive your paycheck by doing X, Y, and Z that you were asked to do. But when you're the business owner, now people rely on you. Now you have a responsibility towards people. Now you can't always take a break when you want to. Now you sometimes have to worry about how you're going to do X, Y, and Z because of all those people that are relying on you, or who will rely on you, whether it's the customers that you're serving, or the people that you're training, or the employees that are working for you. So can you handle it? Because if you cannot, like I said, you can't do it. You can't be a business owner. But if you are saying yes today to yourself, to the Lord, then when those moments come where you are required to be independent, it will be rough. But at least you will not fail yourself. Because at the end of the day, this is what's going to happen. You fear the situation moving forward because you don't know how to rely on yourself yet. You spend your whole life, maybe like me, relying on other people, having some form of umbrella protecting you from the rain in case something happened, or having things easily. Or let's say you maybe are not used to that, right? Maybe you're someone who's very independent, but you don't know how independent it actually takes for someone to own a business, right? And then you're like, okay, I can do it. There will be tough times, but it's so rewarding. It's rewarding because you realize you're the strength. It's rewarding because you realize you are the force. You are the power. It's always inside of you. The Lord placed that inside of you. Before the beginning of time, when he said you were going to be a business owner, he placed the strength inside of you to wake up and be like, I'm doing this. And that's exactly what I did back then. I told myself, I'm not going back to a 9-to-5 because it's miserable. It's more miserable than the thought of not paying my bills. It's more miserable than the thought of sitting in not knowing how I'm going to have money tomorrow. That was my choice. To look at the Lord and say, make me my own resource. Give me the wisdom to do it. Give me the strength to do it. And so you have a choice. I'm going to say it again. Being independent or not being independent. You pick. And so those are all the things that you need to know. in order to truly become a business owner. And there are many things, to be honest, and this YouTube channel is new, so I'm going to talk about plenty of it because I'm growing in my journey to becoming a business owner. I'm not perfect. I am learning, and I have learned all these things that I'm telling you. I've gone through it, so I'm telling you what happens, right? And I'm gonna keep telling you what happens so that we can go through this journey together. Because in a place where nobody is telling you how it is, how hard it is, but rewarding at the same time, because you're growing to be this person you didn't even know you could be, this strong person mentally, emotionally, physically, this strong person, more importantly spiritually, because everything flows from the Lord. And when you take in what he's giving you, when you stay with him, when you have faith, when you believe, when you stay close, and when you hold his hand and you don't let go, oh, you're becoming such a person. Because I'm telling you, every time I have problems in my life now, I'm honestly shocked. I realized that recently. There are problems that come into my life and I'm so blank. I'm not not emotional to it, right? Like it will get to me sometimes, but I'm so blank. Like I'm not crying. I'm not struggling. I'm not stumbling on the floor like I used to maybe when I first started. Instead, I'm like, what's the solution? How can we solve this? This is the problem. We understand it, but what can we do? To have this type of character, it only takes the Lord. It only takes him. I'm telling you, there's nothing else. Forget about all the notes that I just listed to you right now. The number one thing that you need to have in your life if you want to have a business owner is the Lord. Because when you want to give up, when you cannot be independent, when you cannot train, when you cannot do the things that you need to do, he's the only one who can help you. Again, my testimony, I used to be a people pleaser. And now I am the owner of a spiritual consulting business that helps people of every age. I've spoken to everybody. I've spoken to older people who are 70 years old. I've spoken to people in their 40s. I've spoken to people who are in their 30s. I've spoken to people who are my age. I've spoken to people I've spoken to someone who got divorced. I've spoken to so many people. And I'm only 25. Do you know how much respect people can give you when you're able to consult them about their problems and forget about your age? That respect only flows from the Lord because I stood by him when he was telling me, I will make you a business owner. So all of this is important, but make sure the Lord is your number one because he will help you. And if you need help on how to go through this journey with the Lord and you're struggling to hold on to him, you're struggling to understand why he's not letting you go through things or he's making you go through things that are very difficult, then I'll put my website in the description or in the comment section. Find something over there that will help you. One thing that I can think about is my guide on how to hear the Lord. There are many ways that the Lord will speak to you, but there are 4 specific ways that the Lord speaks to you. And if you know it, it will help you. It's only $9.99. Go in there and learn it. Or my journal, how to stay connected to God. Literally go through that journal every single day. I believe it's $19.99. I think I've changed the price a couple of times. I think right now it's $19.99. Go through the journal every single day with the Lord. He will reveal things through his word because I use the Bible verses in there to make that journal. He will reveal things through his word that will help you. That will help you understand things inside of you that you need to change. How to grow with him so that your journey becomes easier because you cannot do it without him. Or if you just need a one-on-one, right? You don't want the journal. You don't want the guide. You just want to talk. My sessions right now are $99 per hour. So you can just talk to me. Tell me, you have a whole hour to tell me your whole life story and I'll tell you, this is what you need to fix. This is what you need to fix. This is what you need to go through. These are all the skills that you need. So make sure that you gather these skills. You keep it inside of you, maintain it, grow it with the Lord, and continuously evolve. I'll see you on the next video.